Hi everyone, I'm Sandy. I'm really excited about this video. I've been wanting to do it for a while now, but I've just been really busy with work commitments and finally I'm getting round to it. And basically in this video I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself, explain a bit of my background because I've been getting a few questions, tell you guys about why I created this channel and why I named it that way. And so basically I've been living in Mexico City for the last 18 years. I was actually born here. My father was from Macau and my mum is Mexican, but I was raised in Sydney. I moved there when I was 4 years old, so I'm an Aussie at heart. And I had been getting a lot of questions as to whether I was Kiwi or Filipino. And I get it because I used to get it in Australia. A lot of people thought that I was Tongan or Maori Islander, Kiwi a lot, and it's because the features are quite similar. So I've been living here, working as a professional vocalist. So I'm one of the lucky ones that gets to dedicate my life to one of my greatest passions, which is music. I'm a singer and songwriter, and I've been lucky enough to travel all over Mexico because my work basically, requires me to be on the road a lot. And I had been touring quite extensively for 4 years, and every trip that I made, I would take photos of the food, and I would go out and just I really love to explore. Traveling and food are really huge passions that I have in my life. So for about 4 or 5 years I'd wanted to do this. I had started following people that I really admire on YouTube, for example the Food Ranger, Trevor James, and obviously Mike Chen. And I think I related a lot more to Mike because we're both Chinese, and even when he was doing things on Off the Great Wall, where the comparison was made between Western and Asian cultures, I would laugh, but there's so much truth to that, and it's something that's unique to the kids that are raised as like first generation, kids in another country, where you're not solely exposed to that one culture. You're actually blending in with a different culture, which is so diverse as it is in America and as it is in Australia. So that was really really great for me to see. And so while I was touring in the States, I started getting into these videos and thinking, oh God, I would really like to do that. And I finally got the nerve up. And I have to say that with the small amount of things that I've done so far on Instagram, it has brought me so much joy. It makes me happy, and that's when you know that your heart is in the right place, because when you feel joy, definitely there's a fluidity to everything, right? So that's basically why I created the channel. I named it Chinita.food.travel because that is the nickname that a lot of people have given me here. It's an affectionate name given to somebody of Chinese descent, Chinita. And I thought it was really quite appropriate. When it came to me, it just really clicked and fit in for me. So basically, I've been doing a lot of planning and research for the things that I want to share. And I have actually started recording some things, but definitely I've realized that it's not as simple as it appears to be. You need to get the right gear together. You need a team with you, and there are a lot of factors that you don't realize until you're in the thick of it, right? So that would be like photo editing, the camera equipment that you need, the lighting, somebody to be with you on like working as a team with you. That's really important, because as a woman you can go out and record and everything, but it's just always better to be accompanied by somebody, and also somebody who has that kind of artistic vibe that can really guide you and say, oh okay, this is probably a better angle, or why don't you do this, that, have kind of the input. Because right now I'm doing it on my own, and it's fantastic. Obviously it's my passion project, but there are things that I need to work on. And I actually went to one of my favorite stalls, which is they sell quesadillas, and they're these tiny little quesadillas. And the recipe is like 50 years old. I mean, this family's been selling for 40 years, but the mum created the recipe about 50 years ago. And I went to the stall and I recorded and everything, but I'm not actually really satisfied with the video and the quality, which is why I've kind of delayed on putting material out, because I don't want it to be just like, oh, done off a mobile phone. I actually need to get the gear together. And I'm even excited. I'm thinking of getting a drone camera, and so that's really something that has made me, really, really happy. So I have a lot of plans. I actually, the idea is to share things that have to do with local Mexican culture, food, the local way. Basically because, I do live here, and Mexico has such a rich culture, and the food is just so diverse, that I have to, take advantage of that and really expose Mexico for what it is, which is, a beautiful country with beautiful, warm people. They're very kind-hearted, and I really want that to come through with the videos that I'm going to record. And also to share the things that that I discover in my trips where I go to another country, because I do travel a lot. So that would be definitely something that I will be doing a little bit down the line. But I also wanted to give a lot of tips for people foreigners, who are coming out, even for locals, people that may live in Mexico but not necessarily in the same area as I live in, and just give tips as to how to travel and what would be kind of like the best way to get around the city. Not fall into the tourist trap spots, because definitely Mexico is wonderful, but there are things that we have to consider. When you're coming out as a foreigner, you definitely have to consider a few factors. So that's something that I want to share down the line. I have family here. I have my cousins and my aunt, which is really fabulous, and I have a nephew who is wonderful, and he is a great bartender. So every time we have reunions with the family, he prepares cocktails for us, and I swear to God, he makes the best mojito cocktails. And I actually don't drink because I have like a really not so nice reaction with alcohol. I go red and puffy, and it's not attractive. But I did get a little tipsy one time with my nephew, because the cocktails are just delicious, and they're actually quite sweet. So those drinks, you got to be careful, because they're tricky. You think, oh, this is delicious, and you chug them down, and then all of a sudden you're drunk. So I definitely want to share that. There are a lot of things that I have planned for this channel, and I'm very grateful to you guys for subscribing and for asking for me to put out more material, which I definitely will. I have to get my team and the equipment together, so that will be definitely something that's gonna plus the channel, and I have to learn a lot about video editing and things like that, which is exciting. I mean, obviously those things I can even apply to my singing. But I wanted to thank you guys for being here, and I will be posting more things shortly, and I hope that this will be a really cool adventure for you all. So take care.